So a few days ago, Sony held their State of Play for May 2024, and all in all, the actual presentation itself was kind of in comparison. Didn't really show anything that crazy. I mean, there were a few fun things like Astro Bot, Marvel Rivals, and stuff like that, but overall, it was pretty lackluster. But there was one big saving grace in my opinion. The one thing that made the presentation all that much more wild to watch: Monster Hunter Wilds. Now listen, I've been excited for this game ever since they revealed it back at the Game Awards in 2023, and the fact that we have a first trailer so soon after its reveal is pretty mind-boggling, and honestly, I am very excited. So I just want to sit here and talk about the trailer because I like to speculate, I like Monster Hunter, and just the amount of things that they can do with a brand new next-gen Monster Hunter is just amazing. Now, quick little thing is that I got into the series with Monster Hunter World, and World was like a very big new thing for Monster Hunter. You know, a lot of big open world areas, brand new monsters, lots of really cool multiplayer, brand new weapons, new things. It was really a big, giant expansion for Monster Hunter, and it's probably the best-selling game in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken, and it did extremely well. You know, then they did Iceborne, the expansion to World, and then they released Rise on the Switch, and the expansion to that being Sunbreak, and overall, we've been eating good as Monster Hunter fans. We've had some really great games. But now we come to Monster Hunter Wilds, the first next-gen PS5, Xbox Series X game in the franchise. And I am very excited for this. Like, the amount of hype I have in me for this new game is just, it's out of this world, because the possibilities for what they can do, frankly, I am super excited for. Now, the first trailer doesn't give us a lot to go off of, but gives us a few little hints how, like, you go to this new area with, like, I guess what presumably is, like, a guild. You have your Palicos with you, helping you out, like, which can talk now, apparently. Sure, okay. You know, you're a brand new hunter. You explore this, like, desert as a starting area, probably. You have your weapons. You have your little rideable bird/dog thing that looks really cool, and looking like it's gonna be taking some assets from Monster Hunter World. And honestly, I'm okay with that. World was a big game with a lot of brand new things to the franchise as a big comeback to consoles. So if they're building off that and adding new things to it for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, that's totally fine with me. You know, to rebuild and do some fun stuff, I'm totally cool with that because it'll make the experience more, I guess, fresh and new for players who missed out on World, and that's awesome. Now, of course, there are a few things that we always want to wonder about. First off, one being the map. Is it going to be open world or is it going to be sectioned off smaller areas? Honestly, whatever route they choose, I'm cool with either one of them. The trailer makes it look like it's going to be a big open world, but I don't know if Capcom has that kind of resource to make a big open world type game. If they do, great, but if they go back to the sectioned off areas that have, you know, unique monsters, unique attributes, unique environments and elements, that's cool with me, because I love that aspect of World. I love the unique monsters that you could find in each area, so if they go back to that, I'm totally fine with it, but if they try something new altogether, that would be really, really cool, because the monsters, oh man, the monsters. The trailer only shows off two monsters, this big dog thing and like this frog thing with a big slurpy tongue. That's all we got. And while I love new monsters in the game, I always like to see what designs they come up with. The big thing that I really like to see is what returning monsters we're going to get. Now, from judging the series, I'm pretty sure we're going to get some of the fan favorites like, you know, Rathian, Rathalos, Anjanath, Tigrex, Diablos. You know, get your fan favorite monsters in there that you know people will want to go ahead and fight. But also, I think it'd be cool if they added other monsters from like games like Rise, because I'll be real, Rise is some of my favorite monsters in the franchise, like Tetranodon, Somnicanth, Magnum Malo. You know, bringing some of those guys too would be really cool as well, and maybe even, you know, other ones from World like Legiana and Radabon, you know, other monsters like that would really, you know, be a big celebration of the franchise. Because even though this isn't really a like a celebration type game, it'd still be cool to pick and choose monsters from all the different games and, you know, bring them all together with the new monsters and maybe even create variants for those old and new monsters together. Honestly, monsterception really is what I'm trying to talk about, and that would just be really cool to see everything all merged together and just see what kind of environments and fights you can do, because the trailer also shows how some monsters might act in the wild, because yeah, they'll be going ahead and following you and trying to attack you because you're trying to attack them, but also you'll have, you know, smaller monsters trying to attack the big monsters and other big monsters trying to attack the other big monsters and trying to be, you know, like all territorial and all that. And honestly, I really love that. I really want to get to the point where we see more and more big monsters on the screen, because, you know, usually it's only been one or two, maybe three at max, but, you know, if you had 4 or 5 in the distance doing their own thing, coming at you, doing a big old monster battle and all that, that'd be really, really cool. cool. I doubt it would happen because that would really chug the CPU and all that of the system you're playing on, but just the fact if you could even get a bunch of monsters at the screen at once, even if you're not fighting them, that'd be great. I would love that. And just the possibilities for, you know, different traps and different items you can use all together to make the monsters to stun them or poison them or whatever, that'd be great, and I'd really love to see what kind of unique things you can do with all that. As for stuff I think they're going to add into the game, honestly, it's too early to kind of tell what's gonna really happen. I mean, they could add a number of things, like, I didn't think they'd add rideable dogs to Rise, we had that, but, I mean, from what we can speculate, yeah, we have our new rideable bird thing that we saw in the trailer. Apparently, we have, like, this weapon that looks like it's also a sword and a gun. Some people claim it might be one of the bow guns modified, but, like, if it's a weapon that you can actually choose between sword mode and gun mode, it's a brand new weapon altogether, that'd be cool. I'd like to see new weapons in the game because even though the weapons we've had for the past few games are amazing, if we had, you know, a carabine slash sword thing, that'd be really fun to see, or a different thing altogether. It'd be fun to see new weapon types. But as long as they keep the long sword and the hammer in the game, I'll be perfectly fine. Now, of course, there's gonna be multiplayer in the game. It's Monster Hunter, it's a staple, it's part of the core identity of the franchise. But how is it really going to work? Because usually how it works, you know, you would go to the gathering hub and you'll pair up with your friends and they pop in, all that, and you'll be able to do certain quests from there. And while that's functional for what they're trying to do, I'm not really the biggest fan of the gathering hub thing altogether. Personally, you know, they could keep that in the game, sure, but if they did a sort of a drop-in, drop-out type thing where you could, you know, send out a flare, your friend could come immediately into your game just like that. No need to go back to the gathering hub or whatever. They're in the quest, you can do it together and all that. That'd be really cool to see, you know, instantaneously drop in, drop out, because, you know, internets keeps getting better and better. You know, live things keep getting better and better. And while I don't want a full live service thing, it'd be cool just for a simple multiplayer drop in, drop out. If you need help, you call for it, and it should be really fun just to have that instantaneous connection with people if they want to play with you, because it would just make things easier in my opinion. But, you know, I don't know how they're gonna do it. They might do it a different way, they might do it the old way, but either way, as long as multiplayer is still in the game and it's still great fun to play with 4 players, even more than 4 players, that'd be cool to see. I'd be down for all of it. I'm down for Monster Hunter fun and experiences like that. So really, yeah, overall, I'm just really excited for the game. Of course, being the first trailer, we don't know everything yet. I'm sure that as the game will get closer to release, we'll get more and more details from Capcom, because Capcom really likes to go ahead and push Monster Hunter games when they come out. But in the meantime, we'll sit here, we'll wait for the new announcements for monsters and weapons and new gameplay varieties and all that, because I'm hoping this game will be very good. If it ends up being better than Rise or World, I'll be a very happy guy. I'll be so happy, because this franchise is amazing. I love it, and even though I'm still sort of newish, but bro, let me tell you, Monster Hunter is one of Capcom's best franchises, and I freaking love it. Let's just hope that Mega Man gets the same treatment one day. I'll pray for him. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go hunt a giant T-Rex, and hopefully he doesn't eat my face off. Yeah!